How to understand that she will not return. The article on this topic on my website got the maximum number of readings, among others. Though there are articles very interesting on topics like communication, how to fall in love, or titled How to Get Back. But this question turned out to be the most important and relevant for many, and I have an answer to why things turned out this way. The thing is, the moment of breaking up is during this stressful situation. A man wants to plan his future. Here's an analogy. Imagine your microwave broke down. She was very stylish, beautiful. You really liked her. You got used to her, which is important. You paid a lot for it once, that's for sure. And you just loved how it warmed pies for you in the mornings. So, a breakdown happens. You wake up in your underwear in the morning and realize that today you'll be eating food cold. You don't like this. And now you have two possible actions. Choose two. There's only one option. Deciding that a replacement is needed. And you need to look for alternative ways. Well, I don't know. Cook on a fire, or on a stove, on a tile, on anything. But yes, of course, you can buy another microwave, though it's not certain that this is possible now. Something else would need to be done. A lot of effort will have to be put in. We are naturally very lazy, it's true, and we get very attached to where we're in our comfort zone. Oh, Palal. So there's a second option you've heard somewhere online. There's a guarantee. There's a certain chance that one day you will hear a ring well at the door, and it's here, and a courier will bring it to you. But exactly this kind of microwave, or they'll fix it and bring it back to you, and you live just like before. And basically, you don't have to do anything for it. This thought is extremely tempting, and men often face exactly this temptation. Just wait. It's easier and simpler that way. But we need to understand that thing, the most dangerous part of this whole scheme is that if a man starts to wait instead of adapting to the new reality, if his planning horizon isn't quite, he is not set to autonomous modes. So there's this part in his life that needs to be replaced. But instead, he allows himself to continue in a dependent position and patiently waits. Well, I'd say it's like going crazy, but slowly. And this condition will become obsessive, meaning it will be very bad. Men seek information on this topic because sometimes it drives them crazy. The very fact that everything can be as before, it does not matter what percentage. So there's a 3% chance the courier will knock on your door and bring everything back. 50% or 98%. There's fear, there's risk. In fact, even if there's a 98% chance, it'd be wise to live for today, really. But sometimes I notice that even when the likelihood is minimal, a man starts to believe in this lottery ticket. Well, what if it works out? What if it does? In my opinion, there's just one thing, a correct, practical, and sensible approach. If a breakdown has occurred, you must remove it from your planning horizon. A complete likelihood that it will be delivered sometime. You should try to mitigate any arising shortages and inconveniences today, and it all starts right from here. And with exactly such a scheme, when, well, if it happens in the future that they bring it back to you, well, here you go, use it, all set. Actually, there's a high chance you'll just find it unnecessary. The likelihood of you thinking, oh, even though I loved, I turned out to be very cunning, it's very impractical for you. I could take it, but then I'd heat it up today, and tomorrow it might break down again. Do I really need it? In any case, whatever you do, you'll end up in control. And that's cool. Actually, if you asked me whether there's a case when it's immediately clear that they will bring nothing back, unfortunately, I'm not aware of such cases. So, at the very beginning of my practical work, when I actually started working with people, there have been situations that were, to put it mildly, neglected. That is, there were cases where a man spent the night in entrances and there, well, it was basically chaos. And I was initially, well, I had some skepticism about the idea that, well, hardly. And I was surprised by the percentage of the situation, even in these episodes. It ended with this doorbell ringing. Yes, more often than not, in such cases, it could be about a year or a year and a half. And another important detail, but I noticed that those men who are not currently experiencing a breakup story, and even those not subscribed to the channel, they genuinely ask, but would you even hypothetically try to bring someone back there? I was told. It's pointless. But when a man is determined, successful, even in the outside world, looks good, everything is fine with him. But when he truly finds himself in this situation, think a little differently, it's true. And only those people who really went through extensive practice, they are ready to not have this desire. And most of the onlookers who just speculate what they wouldn't do often deceive themselves. I've encountered this repeatedly. I wanted to talk about at the most treacherous moment. So what? When a woman leaves you indeed, in each of your cases, the likelihood is quite high that she will return. Well, if you ignore her and keep your distance, it really is significant. There's a huge temptation. Why should I start practicing something that Maxim says? Why should I hurt myself to come to terms with living again and differently? But why all this? If I can just live with some hope, and it might come true, and it starts to destroy us, and we must not allow this. Yes, you all know how many suggestions there are on the internet, and new ones start to appear. You can ignore them for a month, then get in touch, ignore once more, and then reconnect. But the question of the efficiency of such things, I won't even comment. It's just too funny. I wanted to ask a different question to those people who take this kind of information seriously. Honestly, if a man were to answer another man, are you comfortable doing this? Well, are you comfortable in a situation where a woman has just left you and then writing to her a month later? Suppose, answer simply when she asked how you're doing. So, she didn't care about how you were doing a month ago, now supposedly in a wave. That is, you don't see hypocrisy in it. Are you ready to give up everything and answer just because an article mentioned it? So, you don't pay attention to your own sense of comfort at all? Well, then I just want to warn you that if you deceive yourself in such situations and essentially don't genuinely respect, well, really, not many will respect you in this life. That's it. So, you need to start with 5. Plain honesty with oneself. So right now, today, you need to completely remove your thoughts any calculations of probabilities whatsoever. Get out of the waiting mode, which harms you. That is, if a man, no, look, I'll put it this way. You're awesome. It doesn't matter how long you fight with her. A month, 2 months, 3 months. Right now, you're changing yourself, or as they like to say, updating your firmware. It's true. But if you allow yourself this, listen, then you're watching all these videos for nothing. You won't gain anything because you started watching with self-deception. It's the same as when you often get a request, well, often to be honest, where a man tells me he really needs to get back. I don't quite understand this statement. What does really need mean? Like, it matters to someone? It's kind of okay, but for me, it's a big deal. That is the man. Well, truth is, he doesn't realize he's highlighting his emotional dependency, meaning he really should give up on this idea in principle. That is, but unfortunately, even after watching the content, many don't get it. Or another common thing is the genuine desire to change one's life. There are no men. Indeed, well, I've been working for many years. A lot of statements like, I want to change my firmware to transform, are related to a woman. Well, I mean, you don't even have to dig deep. Just touch it and that's it. It's done for, say, an ex. No? I know cases where a man changed course midway, but unfortunately, these positive cases are a minority. After all, there's a concept substitution here, like I want to change, I want to, okay. But you're doing this not for your own comfortable life. You're doing this for her to notice. So it's again, that initial dependency on someone's opinion, on a woman who left you. And the question is, in which direction are we changing? In my opinion, we're just pretending. And how happy I am when I get requests in the format that I really want to live differently. I'm ready to do anything as much as needed. I can do it for a long time without stopping. And I just want to be in a relationship where I'm loved, respected, valued, and understand the mechanics, and capable of predicting. That is, when a person came to act, this is pleasing. And I hope there will be more and more such people.